Hey everyone, it's Chef Todd Moore. We're exploring the hows and whys behind cooking yet again. And today I want to show you how to help make your vegetables even brighter, even crisper, much healthier than you ever considered before. I can show you a very simple way, and when you know this little trick, you are going to be so proud of your cooking when you know this little secret and you can make vegetables that even kids will eat, So the holidays time is coming. It's just a challenging time for home chefs everywhere, and I feel so close to you lately. I love our community of carefree cooks that's going to have the best holiday ever this year. I see a lot of pride, a tremendous amount of pride in cooking skills, and I get your messages every day. Chef Todd, I could never do this before. I broke through some fear. I found a method. Now I love doing this, and it's so great. I mean, it's the stuff that makes people sit up and notice, isn't it? Just the difference between kind of and great. I mean, when you're the one that brings the most popular dish to the potluck, don't you feel a tremendous sense of pride? I mean, if you're a great baker, years ago when Heather and I bought our first house, we were in a neighborhood that was brand new houses sprouting up. I used to bring a loaf of bread, home-baked baguette, to the people moving into these new homes. And, you become known for that. It's hospitality, and I had a tremendous sense of pride. So when you're the one that can make the vegetables because you know how to hold their color, how to retain, not lose color, you know how to keep the texture, the nice crispy texture, you know how to keep the nutrition intact, then you're going to be noticed. You're going to have a sense of pride. We hate dull, soggy vegetables, right? Especially around the holidays. Haven't grandma's green beans always been kind of an army green, the casserole that you make, instead of being that farm fresh green, they're kind of a drab olive, and this is very simple. It's probably just because you combined it with the wrong ingredients, because acids are gonna dull green vegetables, but acids make white vegetables brighter and a better texture to them. So here's the demonstration that we have today. On the stove behind me, I have boiling water. I'm going to have to calm that down a little bit and crank this one up a little bit. Okay, here's our back shot on the stove. I've got two pans of water. This one is boiling. This one is barely at a poach. And don't get me started on the difference between boil, simmer, and poach. There's more than one moist cooking method. Well, in the first pan, I'm going to add some of this white vinegar. And here's a little tip. I drill a hole in the top of my vinegar so I can just squirt it in. That's maybe 2 teaspoons or so, very little. In this other pan, on this side over here, I've got some baking soda, and I'm going to add just, what's that, a teaspoon barely? Just a few drops, just a pinch of these things makes a big difference. So really what I have here is acid, which would be lemon juice or tomatoes or any condiments or soy sauce, any acidic ingredients, and over here is the base. These are neutral ingredients. And what I have prepared for you today is this wonderful smorgasbord, there it is, this beautiful buffet of, it's hard to watch the camera and move it, there you go. We have 3 green beans, 3 broccoli florets, 3 cauliflower florets, 3 slices of white potato, and a red pepper, julienne red pepper. So let's put them in, acid and base. We're going to keep one back as a control so we can see the difference. Acid and base, base and acid. We like that base, we like that base, right? No, I guess not. All right, so we're going to put those in there. Notice how the water settled down a little bit. That boiling water calmed down because the cooler, let me turn that down a little because we want, what we really want is a nice poach, a nice soft poach on that violent, boiling, simmering water. That just is not the way to cook. Boiling is not a cooking method, okay? So at the holidays this year, you're probably going to be making potatoes, certainly, broccoli. A lot of people do that string bean casserole, right? So these are some vegetables representative of the things that you might be cooking this year, because One of the reasons that I know this little trick, this acids versus bases things, and we'll see the difference between them in a minute. When I was a chef at the National Security Agency, we fed 15,000 people breakfast and lunch each day, 30,000 meals. And at lunchtime, very often we would have string beans. Now, this is not like army guys that are that are used to C-rations. This was administrative brass and civilians, DOD people, things like that. Well, you're feeding that many people. We have an entire speed rack of green beans, 10 or 12 pans of green beans, because they go quick, and you fill the next rack in and so on. Well, the first rack would be beautiful. It'd be this nice, bright, fresh green, but by the time we got down to the bottom rack 40 minutes later, they'd been cooking so long that they were a drab, wilty, kind of army green, and we set out to figure out what we can do to retain the color, the texture, and even the nutrition. I gotta turn those down. Okay, they don't need to simmer so much, of these vegetables. So that's how we set out with it. And, you know, I started using this in my own cooking, in my own home cooking. And I remember quite a few years ago, I was at a holiday potluck event in my neighborhood, and I think it was in the afternoon, so it was lighter food. And what I made was a broccoli salad. I do a broccoli, raisin, red onion, kind of Vidalia dressing, kind of, nonetheless. I brought a broccoli salad. And when I got there to this party of all the neighbors, so we're all getting to know each other. I told you it's a new neighborhood, right? So all the neighbors together, and I put my broccoli salad down, and right next to it was another neighbor's broccoli salad. And this is like when you wear the same dress, I guess to a party, and you show up and somebody's wearing your dress. And she brought broccoli salad too, and we both stood there. We looked at each broccoli salad, and to be honest, hers was like a dark green. It was like drab and kind of mushed up, you know. Mine was really bright green, and she asked me, she said, "Wow, where do you buy your broccoli? You know, your broccoli looks so good. Where do you buy your broccoli?" And that was the thing, I kind of felt badly for her, because at the end of the day, mine was gone and hers was still there. So I did feel badly, but it's not about where I buy my broccoli. It wasn't the broccoli itself. It's how you treat the broccoli. And when you know these tricks and the effects of this heat on food and the adjuncts, that's when you'll start making the best stuff. So let's go, where do we got to go? Let's go to the back camera. There it is. Okay, let's see the result of this. I'm going to start pulling these out, all right, and putting them in a row. So I'm going to have my control, acid, and base, okay? Control, acid, and base. Let's lay these out. Make sure I keep them in the right order. And the red pepper also. There as well. Okay. Let's show you, first of all, I'll bring them to you. Okay, so first of all, this was the control green bean, all right? The raw one, all right? This is the color of it. It snaps pretty well. Let's bring the other two in here. Okay, not as dramatic today. But this middle one, this is the one in the acid. This is the one in the baking soda, right? In the base. So this is a little darker green, right? This is a little brighter green. This one, right, is a lot floppier and a duller green. Maybe I should put them against the white. Let's do that. We'll go back to this camera here. Let me see if I can show you the difference. There we go. Okay. So control item, string bean, base, baking soda, acid. This one's a brighter green. My camera might not be showing it. This has gotten to be kind of a drab green. Plus, this one bends in half when it's in the acid. When it was in the vinegar, look how it bends. And the one that was in the base, in the baking soda, breaks in half. Look at our broccoli. Here's the control, right? Here's our baking soda. And here, mushy, slimy, is our acid. Look at what I just throw that down and it falls apart. But the baking soda retains the texture of the broccoli and again retains the color of items that are brown. Let's go look at our white items now. And here's the control cauliflower. Here's the one that was done in the acid. Here's the one done in the acid. Here's the one done in the base. All right, so you see in an acid, white vegetables, same thing with the potato. White vegetables stay whiter. Look at the one that was poached in the baking soda in the base. Much more yellow, right? Let's look at the red item, control item. This is the one that was put in the acid. This is one that was put in the base. Now, there's not a big difference in color in a red item, but again, the one that was in the baking soda, I can bend in half. It ruined the texture of it. The one that was in the acid breaks in half that way. Okay, so the point of the story, the point of this is, and I hope I didn't misspeak in there. Let me make sure that I repeat it. Acid makes whiter vegetables whiter. So it's one of the secrets to a great potato salad at your holiday time this year is putting a little bit of vinegar either when you're like marinating the potatoes beforehand or vinegar in the liquid when you're poaching them. Green vegetables, a touch of baking soda in a steam bath or in a poaching liquid will help them retain their color and texture. You saw the difference. When I put a green item in the acid, it turned drab color and very mushy and it fell apart. And this is why people that put green beans with tomatoes make army green mushy tomatoes. This is why if you try and do like cooked balsamic vinegar and cauliflower and broccoli, it just turns to mush. These are acidic ingredients. If you wanted to do that, you would poach the broccoli in baking soda in a base, and then you would toss it with the balsamic vinegar, but you wouldn't cook in it. So this is the basic idea. These very simple adjuncts. Everyone has vinegar or lemon juice or tomato paste or any of these acidic ingredients. Everybody has baking soda or baking powder, a base. Try this experiment out for yourself and you'll see that you can retain the color of those green beans. You can make the white items even whiter, and that would be the way to do it. And you'd be proud. This is the way to really be proud and have people sit up and go, oh my goodness, what is that? How did you do that? It's like, I got a great story from Diana recently. Diana was in her break room at work and she said everyone is sitting there eating out of their paper bags and paper wrapped sandwiches and so on. And she came in with her Tupperware to-go item, put it in the microwave, and slowly but surely people started to say, what's that smell? What is that? And bing, the microwave goes off and her heated lunch is there and she pulls it back and they said to her, that smells great. Diana, what is that? And she says, ossobuco. Who brings ossobuco to work for lunch? I'll tell you who does. Carefree Cooks. That's who does. Ossobuco is a braised lamb shank or veal shank. It's a braising method that we teach in web cooking classes. She said it was her homework, but like you start to get, a little obsessed with the best ways to do things and you wind up bringing ossobuco to lunch. So this was just a gift that I really wanted to share with you today. If you're going to make those string beans for the holiday, a pinch of baking soda retains the color and the texture for you. I wanted to be in the break room with Diana going, yeah, heck yeah. And I want to be at your table this year, everybody's table, when your beans are greater, when your dough is better, when you're having the best holiday cooking success you ever have. I want to be in the background going, yeah, all right. So whether you're considering making green beans or potatoes, anything, just a little drop of that adjunct is going to be important in the mix to retain the color, the texture, and the nutrition actually of them because they cook quicker, but that's a story for another day. If you want to be alerted when I'm going to go live again, make sure you go to webcookingclasses.com/live. webcookingclasses.com/live. That's my alert system. So when I'm about to go live, normally I'll send an alert out for that. But for now, hey, it's Chef Todd Moore reminding you that there's a method to your vegetable cooking success. We'll see you soon.